y'all, welcome back to my channel. I'm coming with a quick little video on some tribal braids, or in this case, goddess tribal braids. I'm just going ahead right now and parting off my client's hair. I always part off the same sections, no matter whether it's my feed-ins, knotless, or box braids. Especially when you have a client with really thick hair or really long hair, it is so much more efficient to pre-part them in sections because it kind of gives you an overview of what you're working with and kind of like how much time you kind of have left depending on how big your sections are. So I always do the nape, which is from ear to ear, and that'll always be like my bottom piece. And then at the crown, I either do the U part or the horseshoe shape like I'm doing now, or sometimes I just literally part it from the front to that nape, the bottom of the crown, and just do half and half. But for this style, because it is a 3-layer tribal braid, I'm gonna do the U part or the horseshoe parting, and then the middle section will just split it in half, and then we'll start that way. And again, like I said, it works on any style. It's always good to always pre-part your client's hair, whether they are thick or not. It's just a better way to just do it. Always start off with a technique or create a system when doing your client's hair, so that way you know what you're doing at all times, no matter the style. You got this. Like, you can do it in your sleep. So with her tribal, her 3 layers, she is getting box braids at the bottom. Box braids at the bottom is always good for free range. You don't have to worry about the tension on the nape area, or getting like the little bumps that raise up. And if she wants to put her hair in like a mid ponytail or like a low ponytail or bun, she can do that without too much tension on her nape. So we're just gonna give her about 2 rows. If you're doing a 3-layer, you don't have to do the box braids. You can absolutely just give her the feed-ins at the bottom, but she requested a box braid, so we're gonna go with that. And I don't braid tight at all, so my box braids there's no tension. Like I said, she can lift her hair up as soon as I get done with her hair. I don't braid tight, so she wouldn't have any tension anyway. Now, if you want a tutorial on how I do my box braids and how to actually braid, for those of you who are beginners, just comment down below and I will go ahead and drop a video on that. Now, she is getting the goddess with this style. I was only unraveling right here because I forgot that her curls was longer than expected. I think she got like a 22-inch. Whenever you're doing goddess on the ends, it's better to just get like either an 8-inch or a 10-inch. But in this case, it was fine. I just added her hair, the curls, like mid-braid versus towards the end. And then you just kind of keep braiding until the braid hair gets thinner. And once the braid hair gets thinner, you'll take a very, very tiny piece of the curl braid and just wrap it around the ends, creating like different knots. So like I'm doing here, I'm just taking a tiny piece and just creating different knots around the tips. And then once you get done with that, you'll take the very ends of the braiding hair and just snip them right off so that you're just left with the curls at the end. But if she was doing the bohemian look, which is where you add the hair in between the braids, not at the ends, the 22 inches works well, because you wouldn't want short curls on like longer braids. So if it's just goddess, that's how I separate the two. So goddess for me, my definition is the curls at the ends of each braid. Bohemian is where you put the curls in between the style itself to give you that messy look. And everybody does theirs differently. I know some people use like nail glue to keep the knots or to keep that hair around. Really, it's just your preference, to be honest. There's no right or wrong way to get a style done. That's the beauty about braiding and doing hair in general. There's many ways to achieve a style. Everybody has their unique way of doing their own thing. So we're at the first row of the feet ends. And subscribe to this channel so when I drop any more videos, you'll be the first to know. I will be doing more how-to videos up close so that you can kind of see how to do your feet ends, how to do the right knotless. Now for me and the feet ends, I don't normally count how many pieces of hair. I just kind of eyeball it. But if you are just starting out and you need to know how to get consistent braids, you know, you can practice on a mannequin or friends and family and just count how many braids and the size of each. Not count how many braids, but count how many pieces of hair you add into one feed-in braid and the size. So that way you know every time this is how you do it. And I know I should probably start counting too for training purposes. But like I said, I've been eyeballing it for a while, so I kind of just stick with that. Once you kind of get comfortable doing it, you'll probably end up eyeballing it as well. But for starters, we just gonna count and measure. And again, just adding the curls. I'm just trying to braid until the braiding hair gets thinner and thinner. That way, when I trim it off, it's not too much hair coming off. Now, these tribal styles are really good for people who do have thinner edges. My client was comfortable with being on camera, so that's why I didn't block this part out. But once I get done with that side, you won't even see her edges. So the tribals like this, or the middle part tribal, or even the side part tribal, as long as it's like hanging down from the sides, those are perfect for people who does have thinner or balder edges. But on a side note, you know, if your hair is kind of thinner, you know, let's not be braiding all the time or putting wigs on all the time, because you don't want to increase the thinning. But if you must have some braids or a protective style to kind of cover that up, these are perfect versus trying to get box braids. And again, I don't braid tight, so she's not really feeling any tension or anything like that. And if you do struggle with your hairline or your edges or whatever, aloe is always a great natural way to get that growing back. Because aloe is a stimulant of cells. It helps to rejuvenate your cells. And applying that to your hairline every day as an edge control is a great and healthy way to get your edges back without, chemicals and products or whatever on the shelf. And aloe is very cheap. You can get you a plant at Walmart too for $4 or something. And you literally just break it off every day and put it on. It dries off clear, so you don't have to worry about it being gucky or anything like that. And it'll definitely heal your scalp back to life. So that's a quick little tip in there for those of you who might struggle with thinning and balding. And it's not just on the hairline, it's anywhere. If you're balding anywhere, you can open up your hair and put it anywhere. And you don't have to really wash it every day either. I do it every day of the week, and I wash my hair every other week. But you see, like I told you, it's gonna cover her sides right on up. She's still gonna be cute. And now we are all set. Time for my favorite part, that mousse. We all know the product she uses is always going to be some good old shining jam and some mousse. I get my mousse from Tresemme. That's the one that I use. I love it. The more the merrier. And I just kind of mousse up her hair. Mousse up her edges. On the edges, sometimes I use the Ebin 24-hour hold or just shine and jam, depending on the person's hair type. I did not dip her hair in hot water because of the curls, but I did boil water and put it on my towel. I didn't get it in the clip, but I did dip my towel in there and just laid it on her braids and steamed her hair to kind of lay down her flyaways. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to capture that part of the recording, but y'all get the idea. But yep, this is a finished look. Just kind of cleaning up her ends a little bit, giving her some oil so she doesn't itch and to keep her scalp hydrated. But that's it, y'all. This is a finished look. Again, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Thanks for watching. Yes, ma'am. And she loved it. Yes, ma'am. You could drop it. See, no tension.